Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. XRP ledger struggles at 50 TPS. Emergence of inscriptions causes network issues. Okay, let's get into this. So guys, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news when it comes to this, okay? The good news is this isn't as bad as it sounds, okay? The bad news is it's still not great, okay? There's still going to be some work that needs to be done. So before I start, I just want to say this. I'm recording this now as I speak, of course. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put this video out, to be completely honest, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not because I don't want to put it out. I worry when I put these kinds of videos out that I'm just going to lose a lot of people because they don't want to hear this kind of stuff. Like, that's just the truth. Like, a lot of people, they see this kind of thing and they think, oh, I'm just being paid to FUD XRP. I'm not really a holder, that kind of stuff. Like, they just think these crazy conspiracy theories that I'm out to try and be negative about XRP. And the truth of the matter is this. I am an XRP holder like you guys. So I just want the truth with my investment. Like, I'm here to try and make money out of technology that I believe can be life-changing. Like, that's what it is for me. So I just look at this from an investor perspective. And when I see this, I would be looking around to see if other content creators would be addressing this kind of thing. And I don't really see people talking about this kind of stuff. And my thing here is that when I started this channel, I just wanted to be as upfront with you guys as I possibly could. I just wanted to be honest. So I always wanted to address even the difficult conversations. And that's why I've never done hype content, because I don't believe in it. And so with this kind of stuff, I have to address this kind of thing because I really do take this channel seriously, you know, like I really feel like I've got a responsibility to you guys to be as honest as I can and show you guys the good and the bad. And so with this, it's not great, but it's not as bad as it seems. So who knows if I'll put this out. If I do, I hope you guys can just appreciate and respect my honesty, because it does take a lot and I do worry that I'm going to like lose subscribers and, you know, I'm just going to get a load of hate for it. But I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I'm just trying to show you the reality of the situation so you guys can be as best prepared for this kind of thing as possible when it comes to you investing, because this is stuff that you just have to be prepared for, and things that do come, it's just real life, real world situations. Okay, so I'm going to get into the article first and foremost. As I say, this isn't as bad as it sounds, guys, so I will make that clear and I will address that later on. We'll get into the article first and foremost, and then I'll address the points that have been made after that, okay? The XRP ledger recently witnessed the emergence of XRPL inscriptions, resulting in the network struggling at 50 TPS and triggering controversy and questions on scalability. On December 23rd, a project dubbed XRP Script surfaced in the XRP community, aiming to introduce inscriptions on the XRP ledger. A disclosure from the team behind the project suggested that the project would start at ledger 84789,000, slated for 15 hours on December 23rd, in brackets UTC. The emergence of XRPL inscriptions. The project kicked off, resulting in market participants creating masses of XRP20 inscriptions on the XRPL. They did this by attempting to inscribe arbitrary data on XRP drops, the lowest value of XRP. This was similar to how inscriptions worked on the Bitcoin blockchain by leveraging Satoshis. Upon inscribing the data on the XRP drops, they then initiated multiple transactions, each containing just drops of XRP. This led to an overload of the XRP ledger, a trend observed with other networks that have welcomed inscriptions in recent times. Due to the inscriptions, data from XRP Scan and XRPL Explorer revealed that daily transactions on the network spiked to 4.11 million on December 26, up from the daily average of 1.2 million. Also, the number of new daily accounts activated grew from 2,200 average to 20,183. Wietse Wind, a Zoom developer and founder of XRPL Labs, commented on the developments from a unique point of view. We'd say Wend called attention to the fact that the XRPL was going through a free stress test due to the network overload triggered by the inscriptions. Scalability concerns. The developer confirmed that the network has struggled at a mere 50 transactions per second in brackets TPS, with validators having to take turns in validating transactions. Recall that the Ripple development team touted some months back that the most recent experiment saw the XRPL handle 3,400 TPS, up from the previous 1,500 figure. However, before this experiment, the Ripple CTO David Schwartz had debunked the earlier claims of 1,500 TPS. Schwartz stressed that they have never seen the XRPL handle 1,500 TPS on the live network. He added that the network could accommodate 300 to 500 TPS based on its current configuration. The XRPL had not seen the need to handle up to 500 TPS, or even 1,500, so the debate on its scalability prowess lingered. Wind noted that the recent emergence of inscriptions helps to test this ability. Nonetheless, the fact that the network struggled at 50 TPS has raised questions. Snapshots shared by the Zoom developer showed cases where validators such as Ripple and Arlington Capital were missing on the validation list, leading to validation from 34 out of 35 validators. Some cases saw only 33 validators. However, Adam, a full-stack developer and CEO of NFT marketplace XRP Cafe, dismissed the claims that the XRPL struggled. Notably, there were no reports of failing transactions or major network issues. Adam stressed that the only anomaly was a surge in fees due to the mass transactions. According to him, some validators only underperformed due to a lack of necessary infrastructure to handle the new stress. XRPL inscriptions. How feasible? Nonetheless, the XRPL inscriptions project has also come under fire, as it is not feasible on the network. Unlike the Bitcoin network, the XRPL is not a UTXO blockchain. Richard Holland, CTO at XRPL Labs, confirmed this, noting that there is no way to differentiate individual XRP drops, as they are fungible, unlike Bitcoin Satoshis. Meanwhile, the XRPL inscriptions project has been discontinued as of press time. The team sent out an emergency announcement claiming that the project led to a paralysis of the network infrastructure, and they had to discontinue it. Despite the discontinuation, some market participants have continued to mint more inscriptions, albeit at a slower rate. The team noted that, at full steam, the project accounted for 80% of transactions on the XRP ledger. As of press time, the XRPL is currently witnessing 23 TPS due to the slowdown in minting. Okay, so let's get into this then. So the first thing that I wanted to address was in regards to the difference of the blockchains. And that's part of the reason why I say this isn't as bad as it seems, because what they're doing here shouldn't really be being done, right? It's not the same blockchain as Bitcoin's blockchain. So XRPL is not meant to be having these inscriptions. So first and foremost, really, this shouldn't be being done. This is a bit reckless. Now, maybe the project who did this wasn't aware of it at the time, because it does seem like as soon as they've seen this, they've discontinued the project completely. So fair enough, we can call that a thing of complete innocence at this time. Maybe they just didn't know any better at this point. Okay, now the next thing I have got here is that, like, I've got people discussing this on X, and one of the people I've got here is Neil Hartner. Now, Neil Hartner is actually someone who works at Ripple. He's actually an engineer, so this is a guy who's currently working with Ripple, so of course he knows his stuff. And I've got here, seeing XRPL with sustained TPS over a minute period as high as 135 TPS, assuming ledgers close every 3.9 seconds. So we have actually got proof that the XRP ledger is beating the 50 TPS that has been spoken of in the article. Okay. Now, the other thing I've got, and this is where, you know, we do have to look at it and we just have to be open and honest here. 135 TPS is a whole lot smaller than 1,500 TPS, right? And as it said in the article, and I've actually found it here because I remember seeing it myself, you've got here Ripple increases the XRP ledger transactions per second from 1,500 to 3,400. So that's a very big difference from what we've got going on the ledger currently. And I actually have also got this thing here from David Schwartz himself, and I'm just going to let you know this is an image, but I've actually seen this myself on X, so this isn't no Photoshop or anything like that, because I remember doing a video and he actually addressed this, and this was something I brought up in the video that I did. So this is 100% from David Schwartz's X account. He says here, we've never seen 1,500 TPS on the live XRPL. I suspect it could, as currently configured, probably sustain about 300 to 500 TPS. So, again, very big difference from what we've got here. Now, I'm not going to say that this means that Ripple are lying. I think this could be two things, okay? It could be like a bit of an exaggeration where, to obviously market XRP, they are, exaggerating it a little bit and pushing on that a little bit more to make it sound a lot more attractive to people who want to get involved. Now, you could turn around and say that's lying. I mean, that's market tactics, but this is the other thing that I want to address before you get into that type of thinking. Okay. The thing with this kind of stuff is, like, when they're saying it's gone from 1,500 to 3,400, the thing is, if you listen to what David Schwartz said there, he said live on the XRPL. So we could be talking about a test net here. So it could be that they've ran tests on the test net, and in certain circumstances, they have actually managed to reach up to 3,400 TPS or 1,500 TPS. Now, the only problem with that is, if that's the case, then again, they're not lying, right? This is where I would say it's an exaggeration, because when you're doing a test, the problem is, are you doing it under realistic circumstances? Okay. So for example, if the testing environment is like the perfect testing environment and then XRP reaches 3,400, well, okay, in the perfect testing environment, it's been able to reach that. But when it goes onto the live network and we're talking about just real world, and you can have real world problems, just the general things that can go wrong from a day-to-day basis, you're talking about a very different situation. So what can it handle in a real live mainnet environment, right? Which is very different from a testnet environment. And I think that might be where the discrepancy is coming here. And that's why I said to you guys with the marketing tactics, I'm not saying that I think that they're lying, but it might be that they've reached this kind of TPS in a perfect scenario, in a perfect testing environment. So that wouldn't mean that they're lying, but they're exaggerating, right? Because when you come to a certain situation in terms of a real world scenario, the TPS could be massively different. Do you see what I'm saying? And this could be something that they've not really accommodated for. So I've looked into this a bit more. I've got some posts here where people have been talking about this. So I've got here guys talking about the XRPL hit 1,316 transactions per ledger last year. So if that was done within like 4 seconds on the ledger, that equals to 329 TPS. So there you can see it going a little bit higher. Again, obviously a big massive difference from 1,500 or 3,400. So that doesn't necessarily change. The other thing I just wanted to get to here was in regards to resolving this issue, because this is the thing. This doesn't mean that 1,500 or 3,400 isn't possible either. That doesn't rule this out. And this is why I'm saying it's not as bad as it seems. So let me just scroll down so I can find the post that I want to show you guys. Here we go. So we've got someone here just asking a question to Neil. So when all advertisements from the past were mentioning XRP, they were all saying it was scalable. Please elaborate on that, how exactly XRPL can scale to thousands to become public good. In brackets, as per Kristalina Georgieva, you as a developer should know the plan of doing that. Scaling in any system is achieved by scaling up and/or scaling out. For scaling up, performance improvements are constantly being made to the code. For scaling out, sidechain support will enable spreading load across multiple ledgers. So there you go. Like, it's not like this kind of thing isn't necessarily possible. But the thing is that work needs to be done, right? Things need to be added to actually help the XRP ledger scale. And this is why I said it's still not the best, because it would seem that the XRP ledger by itself right now can't just handle the 1.5k TPS that we would have originally assumed. Yeah. So clearly there are things that can be put in as an aid to help it get to that level, but it doesn't seem that that's the natural performance that the ledger can handle right now. And so when I look at this, is this a little bit disappointing? Well, yeah, of course, because we've kind of been shown something that has shown a flaw to XRP. But look, this is the thing. First and foremost, as they said, the XRP ledger is not a UTXO ledger, so it can't handle the same thing that the Bitcoin blockchain can handle. It's two different blockchains, and that's what you've got to understand here. So first and foremost, this whole thing shouldn't have happened really. So that can explain part of the reason why this has even occurred. So that straight away gives you a bit of reassurance as to why this has happened. And it's not necessarily all just, oh, XRP is a bad ledger. It's not that simple, not at all. And then obviously we can see that there are things that can be done to the code. There's things that can be done to aid in the performance. I think I've got another tweet here from Wheats and Wen. Just give me 1 second. I'll see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. So we've got Wheat Say Wind, and he's basically just replying to someone who's just got concerns because of this information that's came out. He's worried that obviously the XRP ledger could be spam attacked or something like that. And he's asking what could be done. And we've got a response here from Wheat Say Wind, and he says, I think it'll be a mix of fixing technical debt in the source code and improving UNL validator hardware and peering quality and better, in brackets more specific, fee escalation. So there are things that can be done here, guys. So this isn't really all doom and gloom. It's not. But of course, this just shows you that the XRP ledger does have imperfections. There's certain things that need to be added to it to help it get to the level that we believe it can get to. Now, that's where I'm not too worried about that, because if it can get there, that's really what matters. You know, as long as it can get to these kind of levels, that's really the end goal, you know. Okay, you can look at this and think it's a bit of a bummer that it can't handle the TPS that you would have originally thought just naturally. But if it can get there, that's really what counts. If it couldn't get there at all, then it's like, well, what's this going to do for its use case? Like, how could that be impacted by that kind of thing, right? So that's when you would be looking at it as a bit more of a problem. But the fact that these things can be done to aid it to get to that level, I'm not feeling like this is the end of the world, to be honest. But yeah, this isn't great. I'm just going to be honest. It's not great. Like, I'm not 100% like, oh my God, this is the end. XRP is never going to make it anymore. Like, I'm not thinking that whatsoever. Like, I still think XRP has its position in terms of what it can do. I do just think that it looks like there's more work that needs to be done to the XRP ledger. And that's when we're talking about it doing its real use case, like scaling for banks and stuff like that. It would seem like it's going to need a bit more work done on it. But if Ripple can get to this kind of stuff, getting it done, and people like Wheats and Wend, who are developers, if these kinds of people can do all the necessary testing and get all this kind of stuff done, well, then that's all that matters, right? As long as we get there in the end, that's all that matters. So nothing here is final. Nothing here is to say that this is a guarantee that it can't do this or anything like that. It just means it has to get there. So overall, guys, I wouldn't be too concerned with this. Like, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. I'm not going to lie in that sense. It is a bit of a shame, but it does still show you that the XRP can scale. There are things to help it scale. So this isn't the doom and gloom scenario that you might think it is just from listening to the title of the article. But yeah, as I say, guys, I just wanted to do this because not a lot of people are really talking about this kind of stuff. And, you know, like, I just think as content creators, we should just be giving you the truth at all times. That's my personal opinion. Like, I've noticed there's not really a lot of content creators who've really addressed this, to be honest. There's a lot of people who've gone quiet, and you know, I think we have to take the rough with the smooth. And the way I look at it for me is that I'm just one of you guys. I'm someone who's invested in XRP, and I just want the truth. I just want the truth to know what's going to be best for my investment, right? That's all I want to know, because I would hope that if I was in the same situation and I wasn't able to do this type of content myself, there would be other content creators who would be addressing these kind of things for me and alleviating these concerns, or at least letting me know if there is actually a concern. So for me personally, I just wanted to address this because I think really this is what needs to be done. We need to take the good and the bad, and we have to address these kind of things head on. So I do hope that you guys can actually just respect the fact that I'm doing this. I really hope that this isn't the thing where I just started losing a whole load of subscribers because of it, because, you know, I'm not being anti-XRP here. I'm just trying to give you the full-blown truth. Nothing more, nothing less. But what do you guys think? The XRP ledger handling 50 TPS. Do you feel better after this video? Has this alleviated any of your concerns? Do you actually feel now more comfortable that XRP will be able to scale to 1,500 or 3,400 TPS in the future? Or do you not agree with this? Is there anything in this video that you personally do have concerns with? Or do you just not think that XRP is going to be able to hit 1.5k TPS or 3.4k TPS in the future anymore? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.